Right, gents, shall we try that again? Am I in? I can't see.
You are in, yeah.
So one of you two I last saw in a lettuce field in Ely. Hands up if that was you. It was him.
Yeah.
No, that's a great video. I thought that worked really well with G's and Agritech because it just gave a better understanding as to what happens in the field, and also the tech that they do, and also with them just got a better understanding as to the situation they're in economically. So yeah. Obviously you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did, and I think it's great for tech companies to get out and understand actually what's going on in the supply chain, what challenges people are facing, how farmers are engaging with tech, and where the industry is going. And actually for those organisations with Agritech are brilliant because it does bring wider stakeholders in and you can have some good discussions.
Yeah, it was a really good mix there. Next time you should come.
I'll come next time.
I cut letters.
Swats and knives.
Yeah, Julian, we all know Map a Bag. Also, Pure Farming, we also want to know, but can you just give us the elevator pitch for those that might not know or want a bit more of an understanding as to Map a Bag, and also we want to find out more about Pure Farming.
Yeah, so basically Map a Bag is a data business in the agri sector, and our principal reason for being is to help connect agriculture with data.
Yep.
Pure Farming is our principal platform that does that. And what we're really doing with the platform is the difficult bit of connecting up lots of different data sources, quite often from old legacy systems that aren't nice cloud APIs for solutions. Yeah. Bring the data together, sort of sorting it out, cleansing it, and then crucially allowing farmers to control who can access their data. So we've put that absolutely at the heart of the platform. So a farmer won't release their data unless they've approved it under given T's and C's and it's their data.
Yes, it's a very interesting conversation, the whole data element, because we spoke about it at Cereals when we all had a joint interview with yourself and the Oxford Bank. And yeah, it's almost a given now, but we do need to hear from the likes of yourself that farmers' data will be protected. And Pure Farming, tell us about that, please.
I'll just back that up. It is given, but there are still challenges coming from farmers. Who's controlling my data? Who's benefiting from it? And that's where we are. And Pure Farming is our platform that allows farmers to permission their data sets to companies along the supply chain for specific purposes. Yep. So we've got technology that allows the integration of different data for whatever the need is, and allows farmers to securely permission that data for set purposes.
Yep. Okay.
And they're going to know what that data is being used for and for what time period.
Yep. Good. Locked and loaded, all safe and sound with Map a Bag. Pure Farming.
And we're a fully independent company. I think it's worth saying that as well. So we're not doing anything commercially with the data. It's all about the data connections.
We did a broadcast last week, and it just came. I know you guys can't say it, but on a sort of a neutral basis, there is still a lot of inefficiency out there within farming. It's like a lot of dairy farmers still don't have a bespoke system. I was speaking to a IT manager yesterday who looks after a very large estate, and I was horrified to find that their database system, which is not yours, is on servers. So why is that hosted in the cloud? Oh, because the MD of the business likes the blue flashing light in the corner. It's like, oh my God, in 2022, we need to adopt a business like yourselves to have the system. But come on, I want to find out more about Pure Farming. Go on.
Well, that is principally what we're doing with the platform. So we've got a user interface for farmers, so they can actually go in, they can receive a request for their data from a third party, they can view the request, and if they want to agree to it, they can then connect up to the source of data, which might be a piece of farm software, it may be a government system, maybe a machine, a device, or whatever. They can connect that up, and then they can approve the data to flow. But importantly, not only is it them approving the data, but they don't have to release all the data. So if the data consumer, as we call it, the party that wants access to data, they may say, well, I don't want your entire data records for everything that you're cropping, but what we would like is kind of all your wheat data or whatever, in which case the farmer can say, fine, I'll just permission that subset of data, not the whole lot. But as I can't stress enough, we've absolutely put the farmer in control of this, because I think without that it doesn't work, because you can have all the tech you like, but if you don't have the trust.
Got it.
In a good number of projects, we're giving visualization to the agri-food supply chain of the data, but we're also using the same data and presenting it back to the farmer so they can help improve their businesses as well.
Information is power, so we've got to share this information with all that due diligence so that everyone benefits, from the farmer, from those in the supply side to the end user, end consumer. Yeah,
absolutely. That data, it's it's only going to get bigger, this whole data piece, but actually trying to not only do something useful with it, but trying to actually encourage people that it's worth doing is kind of still the big challenge. And we're seeing real progress in that. But we did a lot of work a few years ago on looking at data sharing codes of practice and all that sort of thing. And the one, two things that came out. One was can farmers trust what's happening with their data. The other was me as a farmer, show me the benefit of doing it. And that isn't necessarily the monetary benefit. They're not necessarily saying pay me for my data, but they're saying if I'm going to do that, can I have some insights? Can I have something useful back from it that helps in my business? And we're starting to see that loop becoming a bit more.
And not big jigger, is it? The more that people can adopt your technology, the better, the more likely it is they're going to future-proof their business because of that data and the limited sharing of that data is going to be beneficial to everyone.
Yeah,
well,
I think.
Go on. I think if everyone respects the central tenet that the farmer's data is the farmer's data, that to me is the key starting point. And if everyone then kind of plays ball and says, well, look, we do need to help farmers share their data so they can do the things that they want to do, or the supply chain can do the things that benefit the farmers and so on, then we're in a good place. But it's a journey, and there's been some, historically in the industry, there have been some mistakes made along the way, and they take a bit of time to get over.
And if there is ever a time to start measuring, it's now. If you look at fertiliser prices, Julian's been to a seminar this morning and talking about potential pressures on margins for farmers further on. Now's the time to start measuring and actually understanding and looking at a bit of feedback at what are we going to do differently. And that's what data can bring. It can give you that visualisation of the information that's on the farm that will allow you to improve.
And well done, especially in this economic time. If we can deploy businesses such as yours to help farmers and growers, it's going to make them better, not just for now, but the future. So now is the time to adopt the likes of Pure Farming at Play.
Absolutely. Well, that's what we're here to do, is just to help make data flow, help make it more useful for industry.
Okay, and also just to reiterate, I think I might have asked you this already, but just for those dialing in, you're not a one-size-fits-all. So whether you've got a small farmer in the West Country or a large estate in Norfolk, you would go and establish what they need, what the solution is, and create a bespoke solution for them.
Well, I mean, we're more about connecting up the data that they have in their farm business. So whether it's a piece of farm software, whether it's their farm accounting package, whether it's their British Capital Moving Service data, or their other farm software data. So we're less about saying, you should have this tool or this solution. We're more about saying, you've got these tools and solutions. There are advantages to bringing the data together, not least, actually, this is kind of where we started out in life, was answering the one question which farmers often say is, I don't want to have to enter my data several times into several different systems. So if we can help connect up those data systems so they talk to each other, that's a big win. And that's just for the farmers, let alone using the data for environmental planning or carbon footprints or all these sorts of other use cases as well. But it's all about how do you connect up these sources of data that farmers have got.
Alistair, how can we find out more about Pure Farming, Map of Ag?
Go to purefarming.com, or you can have a look on the Map of Ag website.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.